Tens of thousands of football fans came to Highbury. Electrifying.
Yes, guys, and welcome back to the unbreakable, the unmistakable, and the slightly late TCP Live, coming at you live at 7:30 p.m. every Thursday on YouTube and available ad-free on YouTube memberships and Patreon. It is 7:30. It is. And I'm not gaslighting you. I'm not gaslighting you. It's 7:30. Isn't it 7:30?
This comment absolutely killed me. It's like, whenever you're ready.
Isn't it 7:30, Rohan?
I always apply as an Indian, and I can say this as an Indian. There's always attacks. There's always attacks. At least 10 to 15 minutes, and we're within that threshold. We're in that upper threshold. Sometimes it can be 10 minutes even earlier.
Can I claim Bournemouth? We've never been early. Can I claim Bournemouth tax?
What are the old Bournemouthans like?
Bournemouthian. This is a lot of old people.
Seems really chilled vibe. I've been in Bournemouth once.
Yeah,
it's decent.
Decent.
I went to the. It's not Bournemouth, but it's like near it. I went to the Durdle Door, which was nice.
Durdle was very, very nice.
Yeah,
very nice place.
Good. Going all the way down and then back up.
Yeah,
it's good.
Jurassic Coast.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, welcome to
where I am
in Leicester. You live?
Nice.
Do you live in the Leicester ground or?
I live in Leicester. Yeah,
Leicestershire. Welcome to everyone. Hope you're all doing very well. TCP Live. Flask 904 has become a YouTube member. Thank you so much, Flask. We appreciate it. Sham says Indian tax is 1 hour late, not 15 minutes.
1 hour's outrageous, don't it? Imagine you tell someone, all right, I'll be there at 7:30. You come at 8:30. That's just taking the.
But it depends. It depends what it is, because if it's a party, and they're like come from 7.
Yeah,
I think it's acceptable to be there at like 8:30, 9.
No, but imagine like you've arranged a meeting with a group of friends, and you're saying right 7:30.
Yeah,
the restaurant's booked, and you come at 8:30. There's no tax there. You've got to get there 8, unless there's something that's happened like unexpected. Then,
do you know, in my personal life, I think I am the late guy. Professionally, I'm always on time, apart from TDK Live.
It depends. It depends on the. I'm usually pretty good. But yeah, depends. Like if I've came really early, like a couple of times, and nobody else come early, now I'll mix it up and I'll come late.
Yeah,
I'll mix it up, be unpredictable.
You'll mix it up, and he'll come late.
Exactly.
Lucky lady. Right, this evening we are talking Brentford. We're talking about Mikel Merino's Ballon d'Or charge. We're talking. I've got a hot take for you that I want to ask you all. If there's any old heads watching, I don't want to define old heads, but if you identify as an old head, then we need you. We're going to talk about Holger and Edwin Quinteros. George and I have scouted on him coming. We're going to talk about the Villa game. We're going to build the best Arsenal footballer with 14 different categories. And then, of course, we're going to take your questions. Thank you all for joining us on the Cannon podcast. Saleh, hot take. Is Alex going grey? I don't think so.
No, you're looking very shiny, actually. You put like oil in your hair?
No.
It's looking very nourished.
Thanks. I appreciate it, man.
It's lovely.
I appreciate it. I'm also going to show off some art in just a second. Rohan, Brentford, you were there.
Yes.
Give me some thoughts.
7:30 kickoff, so I can make that. I can absolutely make that. I saw that and I thought, I'll have a look. I'll have a look at that.
Were you like an animal?
As in an animal in the crowd, like giving it?
No, Mikel said be like an animal.
I have a feeling what's happened in that press conference is he thought it was 8 p.m. the kickoff.
Yeah, I thought that.
And that's why he's emphasized 7:30, guys. 7:30. I have a feeling maybe he thought it was like an 8 p.m. kickoff and then realized, it's actually 7:30.
Or maybe he knows people like us rarely turn up at 7:30. So maybe he was giving it one of that. Maybe he's a TCP fan.
Absolutely. Shall I give you my standard match day experience? What I usually do when I go to the Emirates.
Yes, but firstly, I thought you were about to launch into a usual match day thing about how you can't see anything, so it doesn't matter anyway.
That's actually probably going to touch into that. But basically, right, this is what I do. In the last year or so, get there, get some food, but this time I came with a full belly, so I didn't need to grab any food. I always, for the last year and a half, I always get something for the homeless. Just a nice deed. Like, because when you go through King's Cross, in Pancras, you got loads of homeless people. So, like, do a nice deed. Just feel good. Do that, and maybe it's also a good omen for the Arsenal to come. And then got to the game, and yeah, it was good. I'll tell you what, though, I was sat row 2, and I like the row 2 seat. But the problem is if it rains, you're screwed. You're absolutely screwed. It was raining pre-match, stopped when the game started, and then it was tetherball. A lot of rotation in the lineup, and I tell you what, I don't know how you felt about it, but I felt really anxious at the game. I thought this is really edgy, and I watched it back. Thought, oh, this was actually a walk in the park. You know what it is, though? It's because we know how dangerous Brentford are via the corners and via the long throw-ins with Coyote as well. So every moment in which we conceded a corner or a long throw-in, that's what generated the anxiety. But when you actually really look at it, outside of the Raya save in the first half, which was fantastic, they didn't do anything. They didn't even do nothing in the game. So yeah.
They didn't. It's hard. It's always hard to sort of differentiate between what is your nerves being projected on the team and what is actually a team being nervous and how much threat they had.
Yeah,
So you just have to look at the numbers. But I don't know. Like I guess the Sharda chance probably. He probably
the
should have
first half.
scored. It's an
Yeah.
unbelievable save from David Raya. I just and I kept saying this on the instant reaction probably too many times. I just feel like Brentford are kind of the archetypal. This is already the Super League. Like they're so good, and they'll probably come like 13th. They are an unbelievable side, and they can threaten you, and they can run with you, and they in every phase they have something for you. And there's some really good players, really good individuals, really good ideas. They counter press quickly. They get up the pitch quickly. They've got some really good forwards. They've got some really good defenders. Just across the field, I go, yep, tick, 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 tick. They're probably still going to come like 12th. And that's why those games stress me out, because I said this last night, and I'm not sure you agree. I think a game like that, winning at home against Brentford now, is the equivalent of going away to like a top maybe 6 to 8 about 15 years ago.
Easily.
Like that level of quality, like how hard it is. I'm not saying it's the same as a United game, whatever it might be, when United were good, or a City game or a Liverpool game now. But I think the quality of the league is up that much that's where I view it as. I don't think there are, and we've discussed this before, there aren't the Norwich in the sun, 3 p.m. turn up, one eye on the Champions League anymore. There just aren't those games. So I always felt nervous. I think you're right that Brentford probably didn't actually pose that much of a threat, but equally, I don't think I'm going to feel relaxed until the end of the season. So,
do you know it's also like, after you've seen the game, you know what the score is naturally.
Yeah, then you could go,
yeah, what? Nothing's going to happen there. It's like nothing's going to happen there. Yeah, I completely agree in terms of like what Brentford offer relative to like 15 years ago. Because if you remember 15 years ago, I can't remember what it was called, but it's like, so you'd always have Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Man United, and there'll be over the season there'll be like Super Sunday, like a Grand Slam Sunday, and it'll be those 4 teams they're playing against each other. Like it'll be Arsenal, Liverpool, and then it'll be Chelsea, Man United. And then outside of that, outside of the likes of Aston Villa when it was the Martin O'Neill days, David Moyes' Everton as well had a couple of seasons in which they were threatening. But there's the rest of the league in which is actual, like, to be as polite as possible, fodder. It's more fodder, isn't it? And like there was just such a discrepancy in the quality of those top 4 teams and the couple are just in behind to the rest of the league. Now, everywhere you go you got a game on your hands because the financial power of the Premier League is crazy. Every single team can spend money. I've not watched loads of Wolves this season, but every time I watch Wolves, they played Brighton. I saw a bit of the game against Aston Villa as well. They don't look as bad as what the table suggests, like genuinely, and they are sat on 2 points. Now, obviously, they are more of the fodder for sure, and I'm looking forward to that game next week after Villa. But Yeah, it's a tough grind, man. I actually went into this game a little bit nervous because of how direct Brentford are. They're always looking to hit it long. They're always looking to compete for loose balls. When I look at someone like Mosquera, who's so great across the ground, aerially, it is one of his big weaknesses right now.
Yeah.
So, and I actually do want to talk about Hincapié and Mosquera as a partnership yesterday,
you?
because I actually thought they were superb. In which, like, Mosquera, Shada won pretty much every single aerial battle against him. But the thing with Mosquera is that he's so quick across the ground, in which he might lose that first contact, and that's a weakness he needs to work on. But he's able to recover really swiftly, and he never got beat in that sense. And it's the same as Hincapié as well. They're both really quick across the ground. I was watching them really closely, and yeah, no, they looked really good, and a lot of positives to take for sure.
Yes. Yeah, Hincapié.
Right. Now, okay, this is a nonsense. This is a nonsense.
So we were on a director's box phone-in for the Cannon podcast. And Rohan, did you say you hate him and don't want him to live?
I absolutely hate him, and I said he is the worst centre-back that we've had since you shall not be named.
You aren't as high on Hincapié as some people, let's say that. Well, talk to me about your thoughts on Hincapié.
See, this is where this is not true. I said in that director's box phone-in, I don't know enough about Hincapié, so I thought I'm going to go slap down the middle, 50. What it was, chat, is it was a brilliant question actually from the director member, and it was basically like, okay, we're assuming our starting 11, like our best starting 11, are at 100% capacity. And if they sustained an injury, a long-term injury, how much confidence would we have in the player next in line? And Hincapié was used secondary to Gabriel. And I said, because I'm not an ultra-crepidarian, and you guys have watched the scouting clips, so you know more about Hincapié than I did. I said, I don't know much about this guy, so I'm going to go 50. Slap down 50% confidence level, really. And I got ridiculed for it, chat.
Can you believe that?
Hincapié, 50? I was like, I don't know. But he looked good yesterday. Looked very good.
He did look good. I think you're right about the distinction as well between in the air. Mosquera, I think, won 2 out of 6 aerial duels, or maybe even 1 out of 6. And Hincapié, I think, looked better and dealt with Ouattara well. Yeah, I don't think they show the same level of on-ball kind of personality and presence as Saliba and Gabriel, but that's completely fine. Like, obviously, like it's completely acceptable. And I think it's trying to kind of not put them down too much just because they're not Saliba and Gabriel. I think for what they're doing, they're really good. Someone's also just put it in the chat about Timber as well. I thought Timber had a really good shift at centre back. He's just unbelievable.
When was the last time Timber played centre back for us? Do you remember? I love doing this. It gets the brain, it gets all the juices flowing.
Can you give me a clue?
Yeah, it was last season. It was during our injury crisis mode. And we were at home.
Villa at home.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
That was the last time we played right centre back.
The 2-2.
In the competitive, yeah.
Did you see someone found some we're going to talk about Merino in a second, his Bayern days, not his Bayern days, sorry, his Dortmund days. He played centre back in a team with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang.
But was that one of those things where it happened a couple of times and then?
I mean probably, but it's just hilarious. He's such a bizarre player.
I don't think so. Again, Merino last season. You can just go back to some of the pods. That guy was infuriating me. I was thinking, oh god. And I tweeted out. I said, our recruitment under Mikel is elite. I can make a case for pretty much every single big money signing. I could make a case for them, even though that's a Jesus, given what's actually transpired. I was thinking with Merino, again, it wasn't loads. It was 30 million. I was like, this might be one of our duds. This might be one of the guys in which, don't really see it. Oh my god, he could be. I saw a tweet today, one of the best value for money signings in the Arteta era. It's crazy.
Just in terms of output. So, genuine question to the chat and to you.
Yeah.
If I said this yesterday, if Spain win the World Cup and we win the Premier League or the Champions League, and if Merino is a big part of both, because right now, and my secondary question is, if all 3 strikers were available tomorrow, would you drop him? Why? What if he played every game for Spain at the World Cup and play the rest of the season as R9, why is he not in for the Ballon d'Or? Genuine question. I'm not joking.
He needs to keep hitting. So you're saying he's going to hit the same level of numbers, like you extrapolate over.
There is a world here. Havertz isn't back till the end of the season.
Yeah.
Gyökeres, I think right now, certainly from the last couple of games, it feels like he's more keen to use Merino. And I think if he keeps scoring, I see no reason why not to. Jesus might leave in January.
Yeah.
He starts for Spain. He plays and starts for Spain because of his record. So if he stays as R9, probably the biggest challenger is Gyökeres, certainly in the short term, and plays for Spain and wins the Premier League or the Champions League for Arsenal and wins the World Cup for Spain. Why is he not in the running for the Ballon d'Or?
He needs to keep hitting big numbers because the whole purpose of like a Ballon d'Or, outside of if you give it to a defensive midfielder or a centre back, a defender like when Thingy won it, Nedved won it. No, not Nedved, Cannavaro won it. Was it Cannavaro over Henry in the 03 or 04?
No, Nedved.
Nedved won. No, Nedved won. Cannavaro won the World Cup.
World Cup 2006.
Yeah. So, and then Rodri obviously went recent. You need to hit big numbers as well. That's just part and parcel of it. So if you told me Mikel Merino hits ridiculous numbers from now to the end of the season, and then he does the same for Spain as well, then yeah, there's a case for it. But that's a lot of bits.
Yeah. How about 30 GA in 2025?
Well, so he'd need to hit similar level. He needed to hit similar numbers from now to the end of the season, wouldn't he?
Yeah. No, obviously he has to continue at this level, but we've got to a point with Merino where it's like, oh no, it will drop off. It isn't dropping off.
Yeah.
Like and everyone's it'll be people in the chat. It'll be Yamal. Oh no. We've been through this. We did this in like April. We were doing this will drop off for Merino in April. He's getting better.
See, I'll be backing him because he's an Arsenal boy. If I was an opposition fan, I'm seeing Mikel Merino win the Ballon d'Or.
I'll be fuming.
I'm losing it. I'm going to lose it. It can't happen. As good as he has been. And yeah, I think we should talk a bit more about him because what he's doing, what I found really important. So we're talking about such an intense week of football that we've had, such an intense period. Against Spurs, he plays 88 minutes. Against Bayern Munich, he plays the full 90. Against Chelsea, he plays the full 90. And last night, he plays the full 90 as well. And it's him in which when the team is starting to tire, he's the one leading the line to press onto the goalkeeper, to force them to performing an action. If he doesn't do that, the team can't collectively push forward as a unit. You know, it all starts from the front. And that's why Gabriel Jesus was viewed by Pep as the best pressing forward in world football at the time, because he's relentless. He keep going. I'm watching him like, this guy's a machine. Like, how is he still going? And even full time, he didn't look tired. No. He genuinely didn't look tired. I've got so much praise for him because he's giving me everything I need right now. And I love the way that we just adapt depending on what centre forward is playing and how we're able to alter things. Because Mikel Merino is not someone who hangs on the last line. He's someone who wants to drop. He's someone who wants to have a feel for the ball. And that generates different advantages. Because if you've got someone like Gyökeres, if you've got someone like I don't know, like Danny Welbeck for Brighton these days, stay high on the last line. You naturally, just being there, you're occupying centre-backs. Merino's someone, if I drop, I'm dragging a centre-back with me, I'm creating some different type of advantage. And he's so smart as well, like the movement, everything, his header for the goal. If you have a look at his movement for it as well, it's fantastic. And yeah, we're laughing right now with him.
And like, I feel like there's a bit of a kind of like, oh, come on, God. Well, when does it stop? Like, when does it stop is my question. These are his heat maps from the last 3 games, the Brentford game, the Chelsea game, and the Bayern game. And you can see exactly what you're just talking about in terms of his influence and where he is creating those overloads in the middle. I don't think it's a coincidence that in those 3 games, well, probably apart from the Chelsea game, but certainly since he's come to the team, probably the Spurs game is a good example. Other than the Chelsea game, we've looked more fluid because we've been able to create those overloads and underloads sort of all over the pitch. Calafiori, I think, has gone up to a different level, even in the last sort of 3 or 4 games. I think that's partly to do with Mikel Merino. I think in terms of like obviously Eze's goal threat and the goal threat of some other players as well has probably gone up. I think as a facilitative centre forward, My question is, I really, really like the dynamics right now of Mikel Merino at centre forward. Do you drop him?
No, I don't think I would.
Yeah.
But the problem, the thing with Mikel Merino at centre forward
Which
is
is
you need to, yeah,
mad.
it's
Can we
mad,
just
isn't it?
say
Yeah,
for a second? I agree with you. It
yeah.
is mad
Mm.
that we have signed Victor Gyökeres, we have Gabby Jesus coming back, we have Kai Havertz coming back, and right now I would have him above all because he's in form. To be clear,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
again, we keep going back to like yeah. But again, eventually the form will drop off. Well, it hasn't at any point in 2025. So if you could explain to me when that's going to happen, great.
It's also different, right? Because the inform thing is very important. Where like Mikel Merino's inform in a centre forward position in which there's still question marks over, right? Like irrespective of who starts there. Like I could make a big case for Kai, could make a big case for Gyökeres, but it's not set in stone like someone like Saka. Like if Madueke is in form, like if you ask any Arsenal fan, you know, if Saka's back available, Saka starts, isn't it? Because it's Saka.
Yeah.
So there's a difference there. I think with Mikel Merino, though, it's about facilitating that sort of centre forward as well. In the same way as it's about facilitating if you're going to Victor Gyökeres. I know for a fact with the way that Aston Villa play on the weekend is if you're starting a Mikel Merino at centre forward, then you need some pace around him to really exploit what he's going to give you. In the same way as what Madueke looks so threatening against Bayern Munich when he came on as well. Where if you had someone like Victor Gyökeres, he's going to give you that threat on the last line. He's going to make runs. So I want a bit more security out around him. That's where someone like a Trossard. That's why Trossard's worked really well with Victor Gyökeres alongside Calafiori as well. Because Trossard is a lot more secure when he receives the ball. He's really good at shielding it. Big Gabriel said like he's one of the strongest in the squad in terms of it's difficult to get the ball off him at times. Whereas like Trossard, Saka, and Merino, let's say against Aston Villa, I don't think that's necessarily the best dynamic as a front line. Whereas I think with Merino and even Martinelli, I didn't think Martinelli was the most effective, but the ideas make sense with someone like Martinelli playing with Mikel Merino there. Do you know what I mean? So
he was the player I was trying. I couldn't remember the name, but Martinelli was the other player I thought looked more threatening with the Merino in the team.
Yeah.
It's a funny one, and this isn't necessarily the past doesn't equal the future, but I feel like Arsenal have always looked better under Mikel Arteta with a false nine. It's something about maybe just about how maybe the fact we've always had Saka in the team or Saka and Martinelli have been a big thing and where their threat has come from. But I just feel like the best and most fluid Arsenal teams and the teams that are probably best to watch have always come with Jesus or Merino and Kai Havertz. You can he's not quite a false nine. I wouldn't call him that. Like not in that true way that Merino is there. Even Lacazette, to some degree, like in an early form, what he was doing best in terms of dropping deep and finding runners in behind. We looked quite good, sort of 21, 22, when we started to cook a little bit attacking wise. So I wonder whether that is the way to go, probably in the summer. But again, I'm talking as if Merino isn't a good option, and I keep catching myself because it is. It's happened. It's been a year.
Yeah, I think it's a case of there's two things. Firstly, like the sample size of us having an out and out like channel runner, someone who isn't a drop deep type, is not as big as the types of players that we've had there who are more dropping in. And even Havertz before he came to Arsenal, if you look at his numbers at Chelsea, statistically only Haaland made more runs in behind than Kai Havertz. But Kai Havertz, I've always felt like he's someone who, again, if you look at like some of our best games in that said season, 23-24, it is about Havertz and how he drops and how he's able to link, especially with Bukayo Saka. I think it's also because
runners from deep as well.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Mikel is also someone about, if someone told me about like, you don't look at a structure, like what is Arteta's way of viewing football? It's about generating superiority. It's about finding an advantage in one way, whether that's a Saka 1v1, whether that's a Madueke 1v1, whether that's a right-hand side combo that is better than what the opposition is going to set up in that unit. I think with someone like a false nine, that player can move into more spaces. It opens up more opportunities for you to be fluid, for other players then step into that space or that space. Whereas someone who is a bit more like, he's more of a specialist. He hangs on the last line and he stays there. He's not someone who can drop and be effective. It means that you are not going to have the same level of unpredictability, in my opinion, in comparison to like a false nine. Because a false nine is someone he moves around the pitch. If he moves around the pitch, someone else is going to need to take up the position that he's vacating, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents on it.
Yeah, but I think you need at least a group of centre forwards that can answer every game state. I think generally, I think the false nine thing has worked, but we also do need times when a player is on the last line. Like we do need that player. I think the very, very, very best ever strikers can kind of do everything broadly, and that's what we're aiming for. But if the market isn't showing that right now, like if you can't go and get Isak, then there you go. Spencer says, I got into the top 0.1% of the Cannon podcast viewers with my real one, just shy of 262 videos watched. I didn't even know you guys made that many videos. Spencer, thank you, my friend.
Yeah,
I
thank
appreciate
you.
that.
And
Thank
make
you so much for
sure
watching.
you all like the channel on Spotify. Make sure you do that. Give it a like. I'll be checking tomorrow at work.
Can you like the channel on Spotify? Is that a thing?
Give it a rating or something.
Give it a rating.
Hit that little star.
Rasmus, we're going to come to your super chat in a second. Here's a little story for you. I was out for dinner with my girlfriend. Oh, he's got a girlfriend.
Where'd you
go? I'm not saying because it reveals my exact location.
What cuisine though?
Asian. It was Chinese.
Pan Asian? Okay,
just Asian. Yeah.
just
general Asian.
Bit of everything.
Yeah, just anything. And it was still something I'm getting used to. I got recognized by someone, and turns out he's an artist. And he asked me to he didn't ask me to promote it. He just sent me some art. And it's cool, like digital art. Hang on, I'm just gonna go back. Like one of Ezra. He sent me like a print, like a really good quality one. And he's also sent me this one of Dino.
Yeah, love that.
Which is very cool. So I'm gonna get those. I'm gonna get those framed. They'll probably, unfortunately for him, have to go up behind behind my desk, which is not particularly helpful. But if you want to go check them out, this is his website, jartifx.art. Apologies if I'm saying that wrong, by the way, my friend. jartifx. Jartifx. He does commissions, does sort of like football stuff. He's got an Instagram. Yeah, go check him out because he's a very nice guy as well.
Absolutely.
Nice to chat to and good to support fellow Gooners, I say. Rasmus had a question. If you could change one thing or rule in football, what would it be? Rohan Jivan.
If I could change one thing, I'd be people faking head injuries. I hate that. Like, I guarantee you, so many do it. You see it time and time again. You point to your head, and then the referee. That's what I feel sorry for a ref. Not gonna lie. At the moment, someone is rolling around, and it's not a head injury, but he's showing that it is a head injury. What can you do? What can you do? Unless it's just someone. No, but if someone goes down without anything happening, then that's always a worry, really. So yeah, I'd definitely look to I'd love to find a way if we can implement red cards for that, like genuinely just a red card, because I think it's one of the worst things to do. You're abusing something that's a serious matter. Yesterday there was the Hincapié and the Thiago collision that was there, and you just look at the medical stuff. They're running on the pitch like at some pace to get there to try and give you support. And if you're out there just messing about just to buy yourself, your team some time, I don't think that's gone. So yeah, that's something.
Yeah, I agree. There was an Athletic article out talking about that this season has the highest proportion ever of stoppages for like VAR interventions and injuries and stuff, and we've got to find a way of sorting this out. I think some of it is just the modern game and how traditional it is to some degree, but I also think there needs to be higher penalties for when if you are injured, then you need to go get some treatment, and that treatment needs to happen off the pitch if it can happen off the pitch. It's not always easy. I think the things for me, it's like little things. I've got like one big thing which I'll come to in a second, but it's little things like when. How can I describe this? Oh, that was it. To be fair, there was a tweet of it. Actually, no, I don't because it's a Sky clip, so I don't want to risk getting done. Basically, imagine you've got a defender, like your goal. I'll do this on tactical board because otherwise I won't be able to explain it.
We love it.
He's going to do it on tactical board. So you've got our 11 from the other night of the Arsenal team that never was. Let's get rid of that. you've got a defender defending his box over here. So his keeper's here. The ball goes back over him here, and an attacker is rushing him here, right? You with me in this kind of situation? So this is the red defender's box. At the moment, any touch from this player, he goes down, free kick. Really annoys me.
The Gabriel?
Really, really, really annoys me. Yeah, and it just slows the game down. It's things like that that I think if you just went, and obviously there is going to be fouls, but at the moment it's like the threshold for a foul, if you even touch someone over here and they just fall over, it's just red card. Often because the referee is here and just sees someone getting pushed. So they don't actually see whether it's a foul. I think the threshold has to get higher. For me also, I'd have orange cards.
But what does that do?
Well, I'll tell you. So I just think red cards are such a big. They change the game so significantly, and I don't know if someone could do the numbers on how many red cards a team gets each season. Arsenal got 4 last year. That's no 4, more than 4. I think 4. 4 last season. That's 4 games, and I would say not. It's hard to say ruined, but like massively impacted. 5, okay.
Yeah,
massively impacted. Not for what reason? Because I understand. Well, actually, not in our cases, but a lot of the time you go, yeah, it's a red card, but should he be off the pitch for endangering his fellow professionals, or has he done a couple of things where he probably needs to go off the pitch in terms of to create disadvantage, but to actively ruin the to be clear, entertainment product that we all wait all the week to watch? There's nothing more frustrating than waiting for your team to play all week. You get to the game, you spent how much money going there? Think of all the fans, people who all traveled, people who've woken up at whatever time. A couple of minutes in, game's completely over because it's a red card. So I think then it should be so hard to get a red card, in my opinion, much harder.
So like, I don't know if you remember it, but Robert Sanchez for Chelsea against United. Don't know if you watched that game. He got sent off after the first couple of minutes, and he came out. And
that's what
it was like I think it might have been Chalobah who headed it back, and then he didn't recognize Bruno peeling away, and Sanchez comes out, and he didn't mean it, but it was reckless. But so would that be like an orange card for you? Because for me, when it happened,
whether you do 10 minutes in the sim bit, I don't know.
Would you say though that orange card becomes only in play for a set period of the game? So like after 50 minutes or so, would you say, okay, that orange card is not available now? Like, because if you're saying something about ruin the spectacle, surely it's like if something's been happening over time and time again in a game, and you're heading towards like the 70th minute and they've got to play down to 10 men, I wouldn't be going orange card there if that was a rule. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, possibly. Maybe you do like from the 75th minute it isn't available. It's a yellow or a red. But I just think it needs to be harder to get sent off in a football match. Like the amount of people who get sent off for things that, like that Caicedo one is a red card. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That Caicedo one is objective. He is endangering his fellow professionals. It's 2-footed. It's late. It's rash. He's off, right? And no one disagreed. But there's certain things where it's like, oh, yeah, technically yes, the Trossard boot in the ball, things like that at the time, even though it's just completely inconsistent anyway. You watch games and you're like, come on, it's ruined the sport. We got 5 last season. 5.
It's one of those ones though. When the game matters to you though, you're kind of I was like,
yeah, if it benefits us.
Yeah. What about the Wenger offside rule, right? I love Wenger, but I feel that rule is a disaster because if any part of your body that can score a goal, if that's onside, you know, like imagine you're like you're playing a high line and the centre forward who's peeling away for you, he's stretched so far forward, but his leg is far leg is onside. That's onside. I think you're killing a defender. You're making it so much harder for defenders to defend in that way. And also what you're going to get, you're going to get a lot of teams that are going to sit a lot deeper. That's what's going to happen. And yes, I know probably more goals would be scored with that idea, but you're making it a lot easier for the centre forward and attackers. I think there's an art about timing your run and beating the offside rule, which you're starting to eliminate with having a rule in place like that. So I've never really liked it. personally. I think the offside as it is now is fine. It's fine. It's
I
just-
think it works,
yeah.
especially with the
Yeah.
semi. I can't remember speaking about offside this season because of the semi-automated offsides.
I will never challenge the software. If it's offside, it's offside. Move on. That's how I see it.
It's like on FIFA when it's like it's not offside. It's like, well, it's literally it's computer generated offside. So yeah. Even though
Also, finally,
raged
going
all the
back
time.
to that one, where you're talking about like you shield the ball, you feel a bit of contact, you go
Yeah.
down. That's the big Gabriel and Mars Lewis Skelly special.
Yeah, no,
Isn't
and
it?
like
I know
while
people don't want to hear that, but it is.
while it's still a rule, use it. Like
Yeah,
I'm not
absolutely,
I'm not saying this is we shouldn't use any of these things or we shouldn't Arsenal if we're 1-0 up away at Newcastle, time waste, of course. But like you work within the rules that you're given. So yeah. Super chat from Dan Resnick. Thank you so much for your super chat, mate. Guys, 5 minutes after Mascara's injury, I was so angry. I saw Cala at right wing, Rice at centre back, Merino at left back, and started to feel my hamstrings as well from those rotations. This is purely speculative.
Yes.
Do you think no, let me ask it a different way. How do you think we can account for the demands of our game model compared to the injuries that we face? Like, do you think it's even worth speculating as fans? Because like when I'll be so real, when Mascara goes down and he's injured, my first reaction is because he's running literally constantly for the whole game. That's probably not true. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, and I can come on a podcast and be like, we don't have all the information and all these sorts of things. But also, we are placing incredible demands on the players. Basically, I guess I'm asking without knowing, how much can we put on our game model, which is intense. We do. If you look at the BBC do running numbers, we're often over the opposition. Like we're always running, and it's a lot of it sprinting as well. How much can we put on ourselves? Do you think it's ever possible to know as a fan?
Difficult, isn't it? Like I did see like, and again, you need to look more into the specifics and go a little bit more micro. But I saw something about running distance over the season so far, and all Premier League teams. It was like Man City were like streets ahead of everybody else. I don't know if you saw that. It was a graphic where they were ahead by some distance in terms of the amount of distance covered in a game. And then there was lots of Arsenal and Bournemouth there, which you'd expect, Iraola and Arteta. I think it's a combination of the demands of the modern game and the way in which we want to mitigate the demands of the modern game and to be superior. And that's what happens is when, like, I had a great view of it. Like, Mascara is up against Sharda. Brentford keep two up top. Very interesting. It was the first time this season when we played against two out and out, like, number nines they tried to play with a back five. And that's obviously, one on each centre back, not allowing you to be 2v1 against, so that they can't work as much as a pair. It's 1v1 situations. And Sharda is rapid. So naturally, Mascara, that was Sharda's man. So he's constantly looking to come across, and especially with Sharda winning the aerial battle, but he didn't win the battle across the ground, which Mascara is having to keep up. And maybe there's something to do with that. The number of sprints that he'd had to make, it maybe took its toll on him potentially.
How high we play, it's
hard. Like, okay, so it's one of those ones where, like, obviously how much Mascara is running is certainly going to affect him physically. Yeah, like if I'm constantly running back and forth, like my 5Ks, if I'm just trying to sprint it, and expert runners will tell you, you are going to injure yourself. You are going to. So there's definitely something there. But then at the same time, like, can we like move away from that, really, given how the modern game is? Would that mean that we'd have to make a sacrifice in terms of how high we play, which then has a ripple effect on our press, which therefore has a ripple effect on how we play? Do we then take that trade-off, which means maybe players become less likely to suffer these injuries? I don't know, but there's all these sorts of things that come into play really with it. So I think a lot of it does depend on who you're up against, and that's why Mikel spoke about last season with Big Gabriel and his injury. It's like if that was Smith Rowe he was tracking, he wouldn't have pulled his hamstring there. But it's Adama Traore, therefore he's had to go at a much higher threshold of pace to keep up with him.
Yeah, and your same point with Sharda there. Yeah. I don't know. It just gets me down a very.
He looks good, Sharda.
He does, mate. He does. Yeah. Yeah, it just gets me down a very kind of speculative road that I'm not sure I want to go down. But equally, it is my first thought when a player goes down in that way. It's
Do you know what it
hard,
is,
man.
though? It's like I've never been one of those types of fans saying, "Oh no, you should not challenge, the medical staff and stuff." I'm of the opinion, like, yeah, raise the question. If your question is like, "Oh, I'm a bit worried about how at the frequency of our players picking up injuries," that's cool. Like I think I'd be raising those. Like, I'm getting a bit concerned by it, but equally, I can't sit here and tell you, "Oh, it's because the medical staff are, negligent in their role." So I just love to see more articles on it because I still feel very like we just don't know enough. I mean, we've seen some articles, from head of Arsenal sports science as well. I read that paper. Like I know a bit more, but equally, I'm still like very what's happening.
And I guess the club are never going to come out and say, "Yeah, no, it's our game model that's causing all these issues."
Yeah.
I'd love to know. I think that's it's the one area of football that I think there's the least information about. It takes the highest level of understanding to sort of get a grip of.
Yeah.
And probably affects things the most. So there's just so much room for kind of speculation and people not knowing what they're talking about. But equally, you can take this sort of slightly higher ground view of like, well, no, don't question their medical professionals. Yeah, but medical professionals can make errors. Like,
sure.
So it's, I don't know. I find it really hard. And then I don't want to talk about it because it feels ultra crepidaris, as you would say. Yeah, tough one.
I don't know. Have you seen like this season, like our injuries? Like I went through it like match day after match day. And it's crazy. Like match day 1, Jesus is out. Match day 2, Havertz, Jesus, and White out, plus Odegaard and Saka injuries during the game. Liverpool, Havertz, Jesus, Saka, Odegaard out, plus Saliba injured after 2 minutes. Forest, Havertz, Jesus, Saliba, Saka up, so Odegaard injured during the game. You keep going on and on and on. And you go to the Brentford game, and again, you've got Saliba out, you've got Gabriel out, you've got Trossard out, Havertz out, and then you've got the Mosquera injury in game. I'm not using that excuse, but that's the context, right? And then when you consider we played 21 games this season, we've won 17, we've drawn 3 and lost 1. Conceded 8 goals, scored 45 goals,
and still managed to. It's crazy.
But we need a bit more stability on it. No,
we do.
Getting a bit worrisome.
We do. Jonas says, scale from 1 to 10. How Jewish does Alex look? I'm not going to answer that question. I'm not Jewish. I don't know where this comes from. I've seen people say this as if I've like sort of confirmed it. So I'm not Jewish. So, let me do this, Rohan. I've got a hot take.
I don't think it's that hot, really.
Okay, I might need the old heads for this.
Yeah, old heads.
I think it's arguable to say there has never been I'm going to say healthier time for Arsenal Football Club. I think better is obviously tough to say because I think people would relate that to trophies. But if I'm talking about the health of a football club, and I'm asking for, and the reason I say old heads, I'm asking for people, but times before I was born, tell me, because I don't know, right? The contract situation is unbelievable where we're at. If we're signing Declan Rice and Jurriën Timber up, and it sounds like we've got Saka kind of sorted. Yeah. I can't remember a contract situation being as good as it is. I can't remember the game model ever being so consistent. I can't remember feeling so secure that we're at the sort of the forefront of the Premier League in terms of tactics and evolution, and like feeling like we're one of the protagonists in that, let alone being first. We're the protagonists in terms of where the league is going. Feels like we're almost defining that a little bit. The stadium, the stuff we're doing off the pitch in terms of commercial, like looking to what Juliet Slot's doing, like all that stuff, it feels like we're right at the forefront. I know people are going to look back at 2001, 2004. People will have to tell me, were we sort of world leading in almost every area? Forget just the fact that we're winning trophies, whatever. I don't think we were. I look back at 2004 and I think the world leaders in certain things were still the Uniteds and the Barcelonas and the Real Madrids or whatever. We were a very, very good team, but in terms of an institution, we were still sort of coming into the 21st century. I think we are now, with how we're operating in terms of recruitment and what we're doing, we'll talk about those kids later. We're entering different conversations. I can't think of a conversation that Arsenal aren't off and on the pitch in, and I can't remember a time when that had happened.
Yeah, I mean that's
Hot
why
take?
I don't think so, because I mean we're similar ages, right? So I didn't watch through the dominant Arsenal period, right? You know, like from a pure competing perspective, like strictly on the pitch. Looking when Arsene came in and, you know, he wins the league in what, 97, 98, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, on top of the FA Cups that I won then as well. Maybe on the pitch, like the fans, that's why the older heads think this is important, because like I remember the entire Emirates era. Like I've been watching Arsenal since then, and I watched a little bit of Highbury. But I can't tell you like the feeling beforehand. You know, like how did you feel like as a fan? I think this is the kind of the question, isn't it? It's like you as a fan, as an older head, when you're watching that Arsene Wenger period, that dominance, like did you feel like the club was in a better position then as opposed to what we've seen since then? Like, and I don't think there has been. Like I said to you off there, like if we're looking strictly on the pitch, I'd say probably the best moment was maybe perhaps in 23-24 on that final day, because the Premier League was there at the Emirates. It was there, City slipping up, us potentially pouncing, and we win it. You know, like 90 minutes away from potentially winning the league. That's probably the best moment that we've had in terms of everything that's happening around the club. And also, I've said this point a couple of times now, where forget about all the tactics and all the context. At baseline, an Arsenal team that is under a manager that's not won the league, in which they've been competitive for 3 years. Now, even though like last season wasn't a title race, but it's 3 years since that, you know, including 22-23, in which Arsenal are challenging. You not winning anything in that period, for the players to still be so invested in the project that's not normal, because what tends to happen, and it's like, this is so, like they always say the saying of like, it's hard to win the Premier League, but it's much harder to retain it, because it's about how can you motivate players. But how are we still motivating players who have not won anything yet? Do you know what I mean? So it's like that for me that's my only worry under Arteta, where it's like, I believe in the coach, I believe in the ideas and the methodology, but I'm trying to sit there and thinking about a player's perspective, where naturally they were thinking, oh, we're not won anything. Are we doing the right thing, or is this the right process? But you don't see that on the pitch. That's not normal. So yeah, it's everything together.
Yeah,
it's been any better
culturally. Like I people would have to tell me, I in terms of the cultural impact and kind of around the stadium, the amount of new fans, people would have to say. It feels like there's lots of people getting into Arsenal right now. Like I'm obviously you could say, well, it's definitely 2004 because we won the trophy. Fine, okay, cool. Beyond that, though, everything else that a club is, you know, in every facet, whether it's, you know, the fact that we're supposedly on the cutting edge of things, data analysis and AI wise, like there's some pretty good long reads out there in terms of what we're doing with that. With the women's team, like, you know, there's so many facets of this club and team right now that I think is so healthy. And yeah, I can't remember a healthier time. Which is amazing. Like it really is. It really, really is. And I'm sort of conscious of not taking it for granted. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's what I'm like every single time. And this is the thing. If you like constrain yourself within the social media sphere, and you're constantly seeing like, oh, you know, we need to win it now. You know, every time we lose a game or drop points, it's like, oh, City are only like 2-3 points now. It's like, just relax. Like we've got so much football left to play. Like enjoy it, because the way that we're playing right now, it's crazy. I mean, we literally, like I said, I've listed out all those injuries, and then look how we perform still. This is against a top team, you know. I think maybe, do you know what it is? It's like, so I was speaking to some of the older heads, like about, you know, maybe if we win the league now, like social media with Arsenal fans in general won't be as anxious when we drop points. It's like, it'll still be the same though. There'll still be an element of the same with it, where you drop points and, you know, we win it this season, then we drop points and like we got Man City chasing us. There's still going to be that anxiety, isn't there? It's always, but you just need to live in the moment sometimes and appreciate what you have.
And I think social media, as I've always said, it's not a good barometer of what people actually think. Like it's a barometer of what's the loudest, angriest, most hysterical take right now, because that's how the websites are built. It's not even anyone's fault on it. It's just if you're the loudest and most hysterical, you will be heard on social media. That's how it works. That's how the websites are functioning. So yeah, I don't think so. I do think there will be the stadium will change though, and I think there'll be a difference in terms of how people are in the ground, because you can feel it. I think sometimes there's not a reluctance to get up for certain games, but I think that there's a reason Arteta said what he did about Brentford. I think he knows that there's the North London derby, the games against Liverpool, whatever. We are up for those because the expectations are so high. The Brentford games are the banana skins, aren't they? They're the ones where people go, you just absolutely have to be winning that, even though it's a way more competitive league. And this is another aspect of it. Even if you go, no, they are absolutely equivalent achievements to achieve 90 points in 2005 and 90 points in 2025. I personally don't agree in terms of the collective effort required, because everything has changed.
Yeah.
The athletic demands have massively increased. The financial demands have massively increased. The awareness of scouting and sort of player analysis has massively changed. Recruitment's massively changed. The commercial side of things, like every single part has developed and improved to a point where it's unrecognizable. The question is, if someone from 2025 went back 20 years, could they do as good a job in the team? I believe yes. Could someone from 20 years ago come on and do exactly the same job in the same team? I don't believe so.
Yeah.
And that to me tells you that it's no disrespect, because obviously that was just the time, and it will be true in 20 years, and it will be true in 20 years after that, and it'll be true in 20 years after that. Things just move on. So yeah, I think to be this competitive now is more impressive than being competitive 20 years ago. That's true of every team, not just Arsenal.
Yeah. I also think with the point about Arteta and how much he emphasised the Brentford game is because, like, when you go to games and you play like West Ham, play like Brighton at home, Brentford, there seems to be like naturally an entitlement amongst the crowd thinking, oh, this should be easy. We should be expecting 3 points. It's like you go there, cheer the team on, job's done, win, move on. But you need to earn the right to win a lot more games now. That's the difference. Like you can't just walk. Like if we did not, the reason why we did so well against Brentford yesterday is because physically we stepped up to whatever they threw at us. Every single time Kelleher goes long and they're looking to play the loose ball game, which is looking to collect seconds, win throw-ins, restarts, stop starts, then Coyote long throw-ins into the mixer. We dealt with it. That was the big reason why we won the game. The moment we dealt with that, we then play our football. And when we play our football, we're a better footballing team than Brentford in that sense. But if like you can't be at like 50% capacity going into a Brentford game and win, even if it's at home. And that's crazy. Because Brentford, I've watched a lot of Brentford this season. They're good, but it's like, I again, that's where I sometimes start to, belittle this league as well. Naturally, you're thinking, I'm watching Brentford in other games and I don't believe they're going to threaten us, but at the same time, with the type of game that they're going to provoke, that can lead to challenges, and you have to be up for that battle. So, yeah. And
just to close on this, the Arsenal in a game at home against an opposition who are trying to come onto us and win points, still beat them in terms of distance covered, in terms of across the 90. And if you look across, I've been looking at some stats today. We generally run more than teams, and we earn the right to win in that way. And the ones that are further away are like the things like the West Ham games where we just blow them away. But we're at that level consistently, and teams have to rise to us, but they can't catch us. I think the correlation between us running more than other teams and us winning is a big one. And again, it just all takes effort, right?
Absolutely.
Rohan.
Yes, sir.
My friend, it is time for thumbnail check.
Oh,
and I like this one because it's it's topical.
Okay.
I mean they all are, but as in it's like a visual gag as well, because the bees are Brentford.
You're a bee there.
I'm a bee. I'm a bee. I'm a bee. I'm a bee. I look a bit sort of
agitated.
Yeah, I look like maybe a bee's got up in my sort of area. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, up your.
And there's Mikel. Is that him, or is that his face put on someone? Because I swear
it's definitely his face.
I've never seen. No. As in, I'm asking, is it his body?
Yeah, it's definitely just his face. Sorry, yeah, no, of course it's his face. I don't know what I said that.
Oh right.
Yeah, I think it's just. I think he's
know.
been glued.
I've never seen him in a hoodie, so I was like, I'm not sure that's.
Interesting.
We've got Mikel Merino down here. We've got. Is that something? I'm not quite sure.
I don't think that is anything.
Where's the hidden Rohan? Right there. Thoughts on this?
It's very what's the word? It's like it's relevant, isn't it? To be fair,
That's what I'm saying.
All the thumbnails are quite relevant though. It's like there's always the logic with all the thumbnails is to current trend. So
yeah, Ford is saying it is his body. I've never seen Mikel in a hoodie in my life.
He's looking very drip.
I think I'll give that solid 8.
Yeah, I think so. Mate.
I'm happy with that. I don't know where the hidden Rohan is, but I'm happy to give that an 8.
Same,
I think it's good.
8%. That's the first class.
Good little visual gag. Love that.
Absolutely. Love it.
The swarm is Rohan.
The swarm. On the swarm?
No!
Really?
Oh wow! Oh, that's a 9.5. You can see it.
Oh damn, that's very good.
That's gone up. Actually, 9.5
How
too high.
did the chat even spot that? I can't see that from here. And I
That's
got my
very good.
checked recently.
That is very good. It's subtle, but it's there.
Give that a 9.
Very good. Yeah. Very, very good. Rohan, before we take everyone's questions, because we should do, it's TCP Live. We should talk to people. We wanted to build the ultimate Arsenal player. So the categories are: you have to pick someone from every single pick an Arsenal player from every single category. Building the best Arsenal football player with game IQ, ball striking, physique, vision, left foot, right foot, heading, stamina, mentality, pace, touch, technique, passing, and defending. We're going to go through and we're going to build the best Arsenal player of all the current players. IQ, game IQ. Best in the squad.
Oh, is it not just the current squad?
Yeah, just the current squad. Unless you want to do.
I was thinking you're going to do all. I don't know. Maybe all time. Oh shit.
Otto Abraham says his aunt fancies you. Fairs. I think my aunt fancies Rohan.
Oh god.
I think we should do current squad.
Yeah, I think so. Right. Okay, so IQ. Oh god.
You're right, mate. Happened twice.
Okay. Right. And all right, let's not just go by what players say as well, because like everyone says like Mikel Merino is the smartest. It's like, what do we believe? Who is the smartest in terms of like when we see them play, like, and in all their actions?
I think Odegaard's the smartest in the final third. I think in all phases, I think it's Zubimendi. Across the thirds, in terms of like how I see. Do you remember the corner he got for us against Bayern? Things like that. It's like, I just think across the pitch.
Odegaard, though, I think Odegaard's awareness of space, regardless of where he is superb. And if your awareness of space is top across all areas, you're a smart cookie. Like, you're a very smart cookie.
I'll concede Odegaard. Ball striking, the most important of all.
So, but you got left and right foot, right, as well?
Yeah, but just the pure
like Bobby Dazzler.
The Szoboszlai best ball striking.
Am I just missing? But we're not seeing it a lot, right? Victor Gyökeres is up there, isn't he? Like,
yeah, I suppose when we say ball striking, we mean who can put their foot through it and who's got the cannon.
Well,
that doesn't necessarily.
Oh, Declan Rice. There we go. Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it is.
I think it is Declan.
Has to be.
I think he's probably not got as powerful a shot as Gyökeres, but in terms of where he wants to put it.
Do you know what? I reckon he could rival him.
Just pure.
Yeah, he can thunder it.
Foot through it.
Yeah, I think Rice.
I buy Declan Rice. I buy that. Physique. Kind of depends for what, doesn't it? But
Depends on are you saying like durability? Because that could be
let's just say athlete instead of
athlete.
physique. The most impressive athlete.
I think Timber's up there. Athletically, he's ridiculous. His physicality, his ability to back up the press consistently, how he is running back to goal. He would be. I mean, Rice as well. I mean, Rice. To be fair, it probably is.
Yeah,
Rice,
it probably is Rice.
Yeah.
My question for Rice would be contact, like riding contact. Saka in terms of his, if we're just saying,
I think it's Declan or Timber. Yeah.
If we're changing the word to athlete, who's the most athletic player in the squad?
Oh, I'd say Rice and Timber. It's either Rice or Timber for me.
Yeah, I think it's Rice.
Honourable mentions. So far. Honourable mentions. I think Havertz
Timber.
Havertz
as an athlete, yeah.
Merino, maybe, like how much he can do.
Most improved, I wouldn't necessarily say.
No, like honourable mention, maybe.
Yeah, possibly. I think Saka as an athlete is up there.
Yeah.
If he was a touch more explosive, I think people would really rate him as an athlete because he can repeat. Saliba.
Do you know what it is? Ben White would probably get a shout if it wasn't for the injuries recently. Like, do you know what I mean? Maybe there's injury tax there.
Yeah, Calafiori maybe has a shout in there.
But there is injury tax, isn't there? Really, it's like I think the fullbacks. I think the fullbacks are always going to be big here because of the demands of our fullbacks in general. So
yeah, Ben White is up there. What people are saying in the chat.
Hincapié, didn't know he was that quick. Did you know he was like pretty speedy? I was watching it particularly.
This reputational save you're trying to do here.
I genuinely was watching him and I was thinking, I thought he was a little bit slow. He's quick across the ground.
He's locked in. He's locked in. Vision.
Hand of Arsenal is in the chat. Hand of Arsenal? Yeah, Hand of Arsenal.
Trossard is the strongest in the gym aside from Havertz. But we're saying like athlete, as in it's not just the strength, like the repeat sprints, the dealing with contact, the stamina, how quickly you can like maneuver your body, your 360ness, things like that.
It's like, I think you've got to also factor pace as well, right? Like Trossard.
Yeah, pace as well.
Like Trossard over long distances is not, he's not the best in that regard. Whereas Rice is someone like once he gets going.
Yeah,
he's a horse. He's a horse. Like you can't stop him. So,
vision. I think most people will probably pick Odegaard. Can I say Mikel Merino?
It's a shout, especially in the final third.
Spotting runners.
It's a shout.
Ooh, he runs them close, but I think because Odegaard can do it from deeper as well.
Yeah, Zubimendi's up there as well. Zubimendi's got a shout,
Yeah. We've had Odegaard, Rice, Odegaard so far. Left foot. I think Saka.
Yeah.
I think it's no doubt it's Saka. Right foot.
Rice.
I think it is Rice.
But honourable mention for Trossard as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Rice has won. He's unbelievable. He's won 3 categories so far.
Yeah.
Heading.
No, it's got to be.
Is it Merino?
No, it's got to be Big Gab.
Is it Merino or Gabby? I'm torn.
Gabby. So someone, when Merino scored that header against Newcastle, I think it was rumoured he was like, we were talking about like best in the air, in recent history. Like we were talking about the last 10, 15 years. And Giroud gets a big mention, rightly so. But Merino's better. Merino's better because of his timing of his moves as well, and like his placement as well. He's got something that guy's an enigma, isn't he?
Because Merino can do it off Timber can do this as well, off almost like the back of his head. He's got like that glancing thing. I think he might have better technique than Gabriel, but he might Like Gabriel's more inevitable, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I hear Gabriel's more like crash bang wallop.
Yeah, Gabriel's like just get out of my way. Oosh, like he's got
Oosh.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's got the oosh.
But I think that's got to be factored. It's got to be factored big time.
I can't decide. Should we let the chat have a poll?
I'm definitely going for the big Gabriel. Like, I think the oosh has to be factored. Like,
yeah, I think it does.
big
Such a
time.
stupid sentence. I think the oosh has to be factored. Yeah, no, I think it does. Yeah. Right, I'm putting a little poll in the chat. Start a poll. Heading, Merino, or Gabriel, and I'm waiting for 50 votes. I'm not mucking around.
Oh, he's had enough.
Oh, he's had enough. He has had enough. It's exactly 50-50 right now. It's 18 votes. Oh, Gabriel's beginning to edge it.
It's gotta be, surely.
I just think Merino, in terms of the
do you know what?
No one has scored more headed goals in the Premier League since at the beginning of last season than Merino.
You went to this game last season, because I remember it. You went to the Chelsea game at home. That header from Merino was insane. Do you remember it? Like the cuteness to it.
With 52 votes, Gabriel wins. 58%. Stamina, I think, has also got to be Rice, isn't it?
It has to be.
It's got to be Rice.
Who are you backing in a bleep test? It's Rice, isn't it?
Who's second?
I think Havertz would have been up there.
Yeah.
Before he was eating up a lot. Mikel Merino's covering a lot of ground now as well.
Calafiori and Timber.
Yeah.
For pure stamina.
Saliba and Mascara against Bayern, the distance that they had to cover, equally Jonathan Tah for them as well. So
yeah,
but yeah, I think
it is Rice.
It's definitely Rice. Yeah, Odegaard as well. Odegaard deserves a shout. Yeah, absolutely. Stamina.
For stamina, yeah. Odegaard deserves a shout. Do you know, it's so funny the opinion shift on Odegaard, considering how many of these categories we're talking about him in. Like, he is a brilliant football player.
It was fantastic yesterday as well. Brilliant.
We've got 6 left. Mentality. I mean, how do you define this? I define it how you want.
Incoming people who aren't Arsenal fans in the chat potentially like, Arsenal fans talking about mentality.
Mentality of bottling it. I think Gabriel. Do you know what it is? Whenever I hear about Gabriel in training, and like if he's got a knock or something, Mikel is always like, mate, he refuses to not play.
I think the best way to answer this is like when the chips are down, when it's not going well.
Yeah.
You know, we can't pass the ball. Can't pass 5 yard. We can't do 5-yard passes. We can't say anything. That's what I was going to go with, because when you think of the big games and you think of when Arsenal are under the cosh in any context, who's the person who drags us through it?
But in fairness, he's in the midfield, so he has almost like the chance to do that. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's between Gabriel and Rice, because usually like in a difficult environment, it's more backs against the wall, right? So who's gonna win everything in the mixer? It's Gabriel, isn't it? Who's gonna put their head on the line? And obviously, there's going to be some recency bias with obviously the Sunderland goal and that we conceded with Gabriel, contributing to that. But overall, when you're talking about sample size, Gabriel since he's came to the club, Rice since he's came to the club, I think it's got to be one of those two. It's a lot more difficult for forwards really to do that, right? Because like you could argue for Liverpool, like Salah last season, chips are down, Salah output, Liverpool win games. Do you know what I mean? So.
Hand of Arsenal says, after Chelsea, Merino was fired up in a way I've never seen, saying he watched the game back on the way home and was raring to go for Brentford. I found it highly refreshing. Sounds like you were on that team bus, Hand of Arsenal.
Yeah. I still need to rewatch that Chelsea game back.
Can you just tell us who you are, Hand? Just DM me now.
By the way, such a nice guy. Like, such a nice guy.
You met up?
We had a chat. On Sunday. It was lovely. Very wholesome.
That's nice.
Yeah.
What if it is Rice?
What did Mikel say? His role has evolved and he's become complete. So if he is complete, he should be in a lot of these categories, no?
So you think mentality should be Rice?
One of those two. But who did you think?
I'm going to go Gabriel.
Let's
I
do
just think-
Gabriel because we're
I-
just being, also it's too many Rices.
Yeah, he could be in any of these. Pace, I think it is still Martinelli.
Yeah, Madueke rivals him though, right?
Mosquera, I guess, in some ways, but
Oh, I'll tell you what, yeah, it's a shout,
purely who can cover ground quickest, it might be Mosquera, But yeah,
go Martinelli maybe.
I'm going to go
It's not a
Martinelli.
safe bet, isn't it?
I said this yesterday on the instant reaction. I do think it's important to have that threat. I know we want to move on from Martinelli, but you need that in the squad. If we moved on from Martinelli and signed like Yildiz is a fantastic player. We would lack that absolute pure pacing behind. And
Stretcher.
I think a proper stretcher. I don't think necessarily we're in the world that we need a starting stretcher unless the players are like it, unless it makes sense. Unless it makes sense that, I don't know, you go for a Leao or whatever. But yeah, Nkapio's fast.
Yeah, is he like top percentile though? Like alongside the Martinellis and Madueke?
But yeah, I don't think he's Martinelli.
Like Martinelli and Madueke, I classify them as like top percentile runners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Touch.
Oh,
it's
no Timberland boots. No. Oh, I tell you what, I can't stand the bad touch. I can't stand it. Like,
as a professional football player, you should be able to. You should have a good touch.
It's like if you're cooking in the game, you've like, for example, Saka's been like rinsing the fullback left, right, and centre, and he has a bad touch now and then. I can accept that, but imagine like first minute in the game.
Yeah.
The ball goes back to like, I don't know, Mosquera. It goes out for a throw.
Yeah.
I
think Eza is probably a decent shout here in terms of just pure plucking out the air, both feet.
Odegaard as well.
Quality.
Odegaard's got a great touch.
On his left. I think Eze's got the two-footedness.
That's a fair shout. Maybe Trossard's a shout there as well.
Yeah.
Two-footed. If we're using two-footedness, I think we should use two-footedness, actually.
I'm going to put Trossard on something else in a second. I would like to go for Eze for touch.
Well, I mean, Saka's isn't bad. Huh?
Yeah, we haven't. We've had left foot for Saka.
Yeah.
I'm going to put Eze in for touch.
Maybe we could review it in a bit.
We can review it. Technique. I think Trossard is the honourable mention, which is the one I was going to say. In terms of just what he does with the football, how consistent his technique is, how reliable he is. Like he never lets you down in that regard. I think it's Saka though.
Doesn't this encompass a lot of things though, right? It's like you got
encompass.
What was it again?
Encompass.
Oh God, yeah. Right. Ignore that.
Oh.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
It's another meritocracy.
Oh no, that one's so bad. It's actually quite bad, isn't it? Yeah, chat. Let's just ignore that. Let's ignore that. Your face has gone red. Disappointment.
Yeah, that's a howler. That's a real howler.
That is a howler. Oh, we shouldn't say that. That's worse than Yadar because George doesn't know like the.
No, George said Yurda.
Yeah, but it's like, but he doesn't. He's.
Yeah, he doesn't know. Yeah,
he
just fair.
I know the word.
You've heard the word encompass.
I've used the word many times. Right.
What we saying, chat? Encompass or meritocracy? Just enjoy them.
Right.
People try and compare them. Just enjoy them.
God's sake. So, yeah, but what, like, for example, technique? Are we looking striking, looking passing, short range, long range? Yeah.
Saka, for me. Just in terms of he can name a technique, taking it on the back foot, shooting, tackling, riding contact. I think he can do everything.
I agree. I agree with that.
I think probably the only flaws in his game fully are like would I love it if he was 1% more explosive? I mean, his decision making makes up for it, and that's another aspect of technique. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
agree. I kind of wish maybe getting a bit greedy if he had a little bit more pace. A little bit more pace.
Mm,
Yeah. But yeah. He's lovely though. He's fantastic. Top
he's
percentile.
lovely. I hope I get an invite to the wedding. Hand of Arsenal, can you get me and Rohan an invite to the wedding, please?
Brilliant. I'll tell you, I'll bring like the whole Indian community in my area.
Imagine Hand of Arsenal is Talami. Talami, is that her name? Talami Benson.
I'm not even gonna try. I'm not even gonna... I'll tell you what, the post was bang. You know what? That song that they had, I was listening to that song the day as well. So when I saw it, I thought,
Yeah.
oh. So it was a lovely, lovely post.
Yeah. Passing and defending.
Defending, all right. So in the Jivan household, right, there's a bit of a debate here. So my brother, he thinks Jurien Timber is the best all-round defender that we have at the club. I would say it's between as an all-rounded defender.
Yeah,
it is between Timber. Okay, Saliba, Gabriel, and Timber. Right, it's those three, and you got to narrow it down.
I think Gabriel.
I mean, Rice has got a shot as well, you know.
I think Gabriel as a kind of everything you want. He can defend the box. He can defend the channels. He can defend the wide areas. He can head it. His tackling technique's really good. His timing's really good. He's got the last ditch gene.
Yeah. Do you know what it is? You know when you're talking about like you know box defending, like aerials.
He can defend forward and
Yeah.
he can defend over the shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I think Timber can do all of that, but Timber's ceiling is capped in the box up against a 6-foot+ centre forward. Really, if there's like a Dominic Calvert-Lewin who's meeting this cross, I think even with all of Timber's advantages, you can't stop that. Gabriel
I
could
agree.
stop that.
I think the thing Saliba has over Gabriel has a couple of things on the ball, but off the ball, I think he handles situations a touch better.
Yeah.
Has a slightly calmer head.
I would say though, I agree with this. I think in terms of like as the best defender from a technical standpoint, I would probably say Saliba. Technically, but in terms of like all-roundedness in all facets, and you combine it all together, definitely Gabriel. Yeah,
I think so. Passing to finish. I think Zubimendi. I think he's got every single club in the bag.
That's what Declan Rice said. He's a Spanish number 6.
Yeah,
He's
got everything, every angle, receiving, laying off, ball over the top, ball out wide. Maybe the only thing is that switch, but I think he doesn't. It's not. I don't think he can play it.
Not seeing a lot of switches from him.
But
it's kind of like, you know, when you switch play, like when we look at Zubimendi, where has he predominantly been operating this season so far? You can switch play a lot more when you're playing false fullback. So like when Declan Rice cheats towards the left-hand side, it's easy for him. You know, when he opens his body up, he can just play that long raking switch. Where Zubimendi's more in the middle. He moves so much, but he's predominantly a lot more in the middle of the park, isn't he? So, you know, when you're central, if you're central, the whole point of a switch is you're forcing a team to one side and then you're switching it to create the space on the other side. If you're central, you've not opened up the space anywhere, really. You're central. So, whereas if you're cheating towards the flank, then the switch is a lot more of an opportunity to create yourself an advantage. So,
you can set a little course on switches.
Yeah, just looking at that in my head, just thinking when Zubimendi sits and you're looking at how the opposition set it up, it's not gonna. Yeah,
I think you could sell a course. You're one of those guys who like teaches people ball. Teach ball.
No, I'm not good enough.
Get your questions in for the last 10 minutes. Yes, you are, Rohan. The best Arsenal footballer. We have decided. IQ is Odegaard. Ball striking is Rice. Athleticism is Rice. Vision is Odegaard. Left foot is Saka. Right foot is Rice. Heading is Gabriel. Stamina is Rice. Mentality is Gabriel. Pace is Martinelli. Touch is Eza. Technique is Saka. Passing is Zubimendi. And defending is Gabriel. Do we agree with that?
Got some player there.
It's not a bad footballer.
We've created the best footballer of all time.
Who would he look like if we had to choose?
Well, surely it'd be the one who's been nominated the most, no?
No, but isn't just purely aesthetic.
Oh, like
Just
facial
look.
and everything.
Yeah,
Oh, just
yeah,
look.
Just Calafiori, probably. Haircut?
Heck. Oh, we always do this. We keep.
I don't think it is Calafiori, though.
Who do you think's got the best hair? And I think Rice probably is the best hair.
Like, best hairline, but...
Style as well. It's good.
Best hair.
Like, he's...
I quite like Trossard's. Just does what it says on the tin, mate. It's just...
See, a lot of it it's low maintenance, isn't it? It's like...
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's fine, isn't it? That's good.
That's fine. Absolutely fine.
Yeah. What about Odegaard's new... Well, he's... Oh, I forgot.
The shortening.
Yeah.
Nindo says, how do you think our current team would fare against the peak 23-24 team?
Well, like, if we're able at one point to play our best team, it would be 23-24.
Yeah.
This is the most complete I've seen Arsenal now. But it's just a shame that we've not been able to see, like... I totally sympathise with people who feel that way. I do as well, in which we've not had a game this season which we've been able to say, right, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the team.
That's the team.
That's the team. You know,
we've had continuity with like certain individuals, but yeah, as a team, and I worry we're never going to get there. This is the thing. Is like, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I really don't. I really can't foresee a situation where we have a whole squad fit. So
it must be a nightmare.
It's sad.
It's sad, and it must be a nightmare for a manager where you're playing every 3 days. Like, not only do you have to consider what the opposition are going to try and do, you then got to consider, okay, how am I going to get the best out of this guy? How am I going to get the best out of this guy? How am I going to give him the best opportunity to thrive? And all these things. Like, that's why 23-24 is probably a lot easier because that's the team. We'll play it every single week.
Yeah.
All I need to really worry about is the opposition.
And 22-23, Rohan.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Not that you wanted to mention it.
And I did not mention that.
Here we go. It's the 4th of December. Which 5 are on the chopping block for the summer transfer window? Let's go.
For God's sake. God, I hate transfer season so much.
Here we go. Declan Rice.
No cop-outs. No cop-outs.
I reckon sell Declan Rice. He's got to go. Rubbish. No, I think Christian Norgard for me. I don't know why we've not seen him more, especially considering how many minutes Zubimendi's played. I understand why, but there's certain games that we'll play, and I'm like, I think we need to play Norgard in this game. But like, no, we've got to play Zubimendi. I'm like, okay, but the point of Norgard is that there's got to be occasional games.
Right. So before the Brentford game, where were you in terms of with Declan Rice, like in these next 2 games? Because obviously, like, there's the worry about him picking up an injury. For me personally, I was like, 2 big efforts. I want 2 big efforts, Brentford and Villa.
Yeah,
because
and then Brugger and Wolves.
He does not need to. He doesn't even need to go, right? And Wolves at home. To be fair, like, people were telling me, like, oh, we might as well rest him against Wolves. Well, he's had a week then. He can play against Wolves. Do you know what I mean?
45 minutes. Yeah.
So yeah, I was like,
yeah, I'm worried about Zubimendi and Rice. I can't lie. I just think, and I said it in the summer, I understand the Norgard thing, but I only understood it if you were going to use him, and we haven't used him. I wanted legs. Do you remember I said at the time, I want legs. I wanted legs. I understand the Norgard thing as an experience and a bridge and okay, and because he's Premier League ready, and I was expecting by this point probably 500-600 minutes, but I can't remember when's he played for us.
So he played against Slavia Prague. He started that game. He started against Port Vale. He started against Brighton, and he came on in a Premier League game as well for the last couple of minutes or so. Recent one actually. But yeah,
302 minutes for Arsenal.
Yeah, so I mean, 270 of them have came in the 3 starts that he's had against the 2 League Cup games and against Slavia Prague. I mean, I said in the summer as well. So I was very like, I stood by the fact that I like Norgard. Norgard's a good player. I can understand why we did it. but it's not something I would have done because
Yeah.
I felt that the contingency plan, that's not a contingency plan to Declan Rice. It's just not.
Well, it's all dependent on your view of the players. It's dependent on your view of Merino and Norgard. Ultimately,
I think it was more like if so. What people were saying at the time, and I understood this logic, was like if Zubimendi struggles to adapt to the demands of the Premier League, you've got someone like Norgard who, yeah, it's not inspiring, but it's someone who's been in the Premier League. He's done it, granted at a different level, but he can be the bridge to allow Zubimendi to adapt. But my point of view was like, well, Zubimendi is going to be fine. He's going to be fine because he's a class player. So I was like, I'd rather you'd gone for something different. Like if it was that young guy, I've never seen him play. What was the Sevilla guy? Ugami?
Gume, yeah.
Gume is like, I've never seen him, but what I've heard is he's physical. He's able to eat up ground. He's a runner. He adds legs to the midfield. Cool. If he's all this and he's giving me what you're telling me, that's the type of player that I would have liked over a Norgard. I didn't think experience was something we necessarily needed there. But listen, I might be wrong. We might see Norgard more in the coming weeks or so. But yeah, I didn't really. I would have went a different way personally.
Yep. I think Norgard's there. I think there's got a defender will go. I'm not sure who, but you can't. I don't think you can sustain 8 defenders. So I think someone will leave. If I had to put my money on it right now, it would be Ben White.
Yeah, I agree.
Today, which is a massive shame, but I don't know who else it would be. It's not going to be Calafiori. It's not going to be Gabriel. It's not going to be Saliba. Ngapi will have just become permanent. Miles isn't leaving. The only way it might happen is if Miles becomes more of a midfielder this season and we can get more minutes for him. Who else is there? It's not going to be Mosquera.
No, it's not going to be Saliba. You said Saliba?
It's not going to be Saliba. Yeah, so yeah. I think it's either Miles moves into the midfield and we might get away with it, or if Miles stays there, then I think Ben White will go. Who else?
I think Trossard
and Martinelli. Yeah,
I think Trossard will go. I still think, despite how good he has been, our mindset with Trossard in the summer kind of tells 1,000 words, really. I mean, we gave him a contract that wasn't an extension, which is why we did it before the league season started, where we wanted to give him a salary bump because we felt, in line with his competitors, which are his squad mates, he deserves a bump with what he is doing on the pitch, and that made sense. But there was no real, push for the club to give him further years. So I do think that's someone who's going to move on, and I think it's like it'd be a great time to let go as well. Really, with also
we need to, and probably Jesus as well. When we just need a bit of a. If you end up with a group of, who would that be then? Saka, Havertz, Gyökeres.
Bit of a refresh, a little bit.
Yeah, you get a bit of a refresh up top, and I think we'd need it.
I
do think we'd need it. Maybe you don't get rid of all of Martinelli, Trossard, and Jesus in one summer. That feels like there could be too much.
I think I would get rid of Trossard and Jesus, but again, it also depends on the money, right? As good as Martinelli. If a big offer comes in for Martinelli, you have to consider that as well, isn't it? So
yeah, and that was kind of my argument in the summer, that like he may be the more saleable asset. The question I guess I have also it depends on if we win the Premier League, because it may well be if we don't win something. Literally, I despair to even think of it. But if we don't win something big, right? What happens? And I think someone like a Martinelli might probably stick around. To try and win it.
Yeah.
Feels like it. Do you know what I mean? It's that sort of thing as well. So yeah. If we don't have Rice this weekend, please don't say that. How do we deal with the Villa midfield?
Well, firstly, I was watching Rice throughout that little period when I didn't think he was injured. I genuinely felt it was. We'll see. I genuinely felt it was like I've given all I can here. Maybe I could go an extra mile here, but is it worth it going the extra mile with the repercussions that could happen? I think he'll be fine. But if he's not there,
I'm sort of coming to the point, mate, where I think it's becoming more and more imperative for us to sign legs in January.
Absolutely.
I would be quite disappointed if we didn't. I think we could probably win the league without it, but I understand the demands placed on Declan Rice, and he can absolutely deal with it. Like, let's be real. Unless
you see Mikel fast track Miles into midfield and
but that's not legs.
No, it's not. But it's something that would it would give us more legs than the Marina though in midfield. Personally, like
Yeah, it takes minutes, but I
Yeah.
do think just for those games where things are gonna like the Chelsea game, for example, like that's a perfect example of a game you need big space runners, and that's not Mikel Merino.
And who is that? Who is that in the market? Please tell me now.
I mean, I could give you all the. We watched Agume, and we watched Yusuf Fofana.
Is he the?
I never watched Buwadi. I think he's
Yeah.
going to PSG. So, as in I've seen like comps, but I never watched him properly. There's a guy called Keith Schmidt who plays for Alkmaar.
Mhm.
I think he's a bit of an all-rounder. I worry about him. He's more like Eza. He doesn't really want the contact. He's going to like try and dribble around you. He doesn't feel like that sort of midfielder who wants the contact. But yeah, I need to look into it.
Yeah, need something there.
Maybe you.
I can run.
Do you think you encompass everything an Arsenal midfielder should be?
Yeah, everybody forgot. They all forgot about it.
We never forget. You're a man in this society.
What,
and if you make a mistake, I'll mock you.
I could keep running though. Like I can run, but in terms of physically, I'm getting brushed off like a fly. Although I'll tell you what though, like
yeah, your arms are looking a little. You've added a few millimeters there, mate.
I can chest press pretty well, I'd say. Like
what's your bench and what's your chest?
I do dumbbell chest presses, so I did 32s today on each.
Decent.
Yeah. I think that's good.
That's very good.
Yeah. What can you do?
I don't go to the gym enough.
Really? Not
something especially in the new year. I want to. Do you know what I want? I want to enjoy the gym. I don't enjoy it.
Oh,
I think
really?
part of it, yeah. whenever I go, I'm just like, it just feels like it feels like cleaning my teeth. That's what it feels like.
No,
it feels like something I just have to do rather than.
You need to go with someone, maybe you need to go with someone.
I think I need to go with someone. I think I need to do like some classes or something, or like find a reason. Because at the minute, it's literally just like it's also just across the road, and I'm just like, yeah.
Oh, that would be a dream. I love going. It just feels I've been productive. I'm taking care of myself. Like I don't get much time, but I tell you what, there are a few things over the week that I prioritize. You know, outside of like standard stuff. Work, no, not work. Forget about work. I'm talking about gym and rewatching Arsenal games as well. It doesn't matter how busy I am. I have to designate some time to rewatch the games. And do you know what annoys me? It doesn't annoy me when people say, "I'll rewatch the game," you know, and it's like 9 a.m. the day after. It's like, no, you haven't.
No, you haven't.
Do not play around, right? When we talk about rewatching the games, have you sat there and watched the whole 90 again? I do that, and you don't.
I have this
nonsense that you've watched it back. You've watched the highlight. You watched the 2-minute highlight that comes out Sky Sports on YouTube. That's what you've done. You have it.
I had this on a podcast the other day. It was basically Joe Smithy, who presents Saturday Social.
Yeah.
He's talking about, you know, so the next steps. And I am like sort of one of the things, as well as obviously doing Arsenal content, is I want to get into more sort of wider football content. But I was talking about, I was like, mate, like, I just think it's almost impossible to be a really good generalist. There's like 2 or 3
you can't.
who can really speak to you about various, and even them, the good ones are able to be like, no, I actually don't know about that club. So it's a different conversation. You guys are such nerds, says Sham. Thank you. MJ, our producer, has given us a super chat. Thank you, MJ. Appreciate it. Go straight back in your payment. Tell us more about Challenge the Host. Challenge the Host. If you want to get involved, you can send us a video in. MJ's put a submission form on both the Patreon side and on YouTube membership side. You can challenge anything we have ever said. Have you ever disagreed with anything I've ever said? Of course you haven't. I'm always right. But maybe I might have disagreed. You might disagree with me at some point. If you ever have, or with Rohan or with George or anything, or you have a take that you think we disagree with, get your takes in, and we will come to those on a special podcast of patrons and YouTube members as a new directive and initiative. Hey.
Love that.
Elliot Anderson for legs in midfield.
I mean, yeah,
we're never getting him.
Yeah, it just wouldn't make sense.
If we didn't have Rice, I'd be all over it. But
Yeah, he's Rice 2.0. He's Rice 2.0.
yeah, he's not as good. But yeah,
But he's not as good then, of course.
yeah. Rohanicals, a pleasure as always to while away a Thursday evening with you, my friend.
Always lovely. Man United are 1-0 up. Oh, okay. All right.
Are they actually?
Yeah. Gonna catch the rest of that game.
And then claim you watched the whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, more than you believe.
More than you believe.
They're 1 up. Oh, it's West Ham. Okay. Does the take have to be from the Cannonpod? Not even necessarily. Can be anywhere.
Yeah.
Go for Pedri, says Senka Hose. I don't think that's going to happen. People asking for touch balls.
No, it takes two.
You don't like to touch balls?
Okay. Oh, that's fine. It's that other one. Oh, do not put that other one. It takes too long.
Well, this one.
Get rid of that one. Yeah, that's just not a minute.
It is 54 seconds long. I feel like we need like a special occasion to bring back touch balls.
When we win the league.
You don't like to touch balls?
When we win the league, touch balls on a 10-hour live stream. Just
Yeah. That's it. Brilliant. All right, let's head on.
Thank you for encompassing our evening. It's really important on the podcast we have a meritocracy, and you're right at the top of it, Rohan.
Yes.
Thanks everyone for joining us. Thank you, Rohan.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for keeping it Arsenal.
Tens of thousands of football fans came to Highbury. This was one kind of queue the ladies thoroughly enjoyed.
Electrifying. Ferocious.